Oh, good morning. And it really is morning. It's 20 past 6 and it's a very early start, but then I want to be up to see the sunrise. I'm walking from the door, I'm walking from home. Strolled out the front door this morning with my snowshoes and I haven't really got a plan of where we're going today, to be honest. I know these hills so well. It's the Lomond hills in Fife that I'm just happy ambling, wandering wherever the snow and the sunshine may take me. But the first destination is up here, East Lomond. I don't think I'm going to make it up. I wanted to be up there for when the sun came up, but I don't think I'm going to make it because certainly back down the way, snow is much deeper and much harder going than I was expecting. So it's taken me a little longer than I hoped to get to this point. I was going to go straight up the front there, but now I'm going to miss the sunrise. I'm just going to carry on round the corner and come up it from this way so that I do get to see the sun when it comes up in about 8, 9, 10 minutes time. Always seems a shame to have to destroy these exquisite snowdrifts by walking over and through them. Oh, I can see the intense orange coming up. Definitely not going to make it. Look at this. This is occasionally well consolidated, and then you plunge like there. Oh dear. Didn't give myself enough time to get up. In summer, well, most of the year in fact, it's very easy to make quick progress up here. Well, this is the car park, the Ariel's car park, on the shoulder of East Lomond, with views out across Glen Rothes down there, out across the Forth, and looking out to where the sun's coming up just north to the left of Largo Law over there. But when I saw that today was going to be forecast to be a really nice sunny day across much of the country, I thought, knowing there's going to be lots of snow, before I knew it was going to snow here to this extent, thinking it would be nice to go up to the Highlands. Had I still intended to do that, I wouldn't have been able to, even if I wanted to, because for the second time in 4 weeks, our road is blocked. We're snowed in by massive snowdrifts and abandoned vehicles. So I can't get down into Leslie, I can't get down into Falkland, I can't get down in either direction. But it's all blocked by snow anyway, so that's the reason for coming up here. I'm just sorry that there's a massive aerial man-made thing sort of looming in the distance. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful sunrise regardless, but I was hoping I was going to be up there with being able to show you sort of natural splendour in all directions. But I'm sure it still looks pretty nice. What a few days it's been. If you can believe it, it's the 5th of April. If you want to take things literally, we are a little over a week from the middle of meteorological spring. I've always said that March and to an extent April are, for all intents and purposes, winter months in large parts of Scotland at higher altitude. So I don't personally think it's that unusual for us to be having snow like this. I think we forget in our modern climate how much warmer it is these days. Not that occurrences like this were routine a few decades ago, but they were more common than they are now. It's been snowing. It stopped snowing last night at about 7:30. It started probably nearly 40 hours maybe before that. Just did not stop. Not always the heaviest snow, but persistent. To start off with, I was getting very excited because it was falling for the first time this winter. It was falling vertically, not horizontally. So I was getting excited about the possibility of there being very even distributed snow cover for today. But then the wind picked up yesterday, all the drifting, hence the roads being blocked. But as soon as it looked like today was going to be blue skies, sunshine, oh my god, it was like Christmas Eve yesterday. So excited! Watching it snowing, pelting down, and just getting so excited. I just couldn't believe it. I barely slept last night. I was so excited. Oh well, that's not something I see every day. The gate completely snowed under, that I can step over it. Oh. Oh my life! Look at this! I mean, it looks like a proper Highland hill today. I haven't seen it looking like this for quite a few years, probably not since, maybe not even 2013, I think, when we had that really cold March. Probably going back to 2010, I think, December 2010, I don't remember there being this much snow. That's amazing! Well, that was the 420 metre summit of East Lomond, just up there. That's easily as cold as anything I've had all winter. Savage. It's the snow that was falling over the last few days, it was up here, it was about 0.3, 0.4 degrees. So it was above freezing. And then there's just this one day today where the temperature plummeted overnight because it cleared. The cloud disappeared. It went down to -3. And it's going to climb quickly today. The temperature's going to recover quickly, and by the end of the day it's going to be 5-6 degrees. So this is really, I mean, it feels brutal now, but get out, like down there, if you get out the wind coming up, it's bliss, but up there, my god, that was cold. But it's all, again, this is all the more reason to get out today. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to do this today, because it is a Thursday, it's a weekday, and not everyone's going to be able to get out because it's going to cloud over by the end of the day. It's going to get mild overnight, it's going to be 3-4 degrees, and then by the weekend double digits and cloud and clag. So this is possibly, I mean, surely, I won't rule anything out, but surely this is the last proper wintry day in this part of the world. 2 years ago we had 8 inches of snow on the 29th of April, I think it was, on the bank holiday weekend. So it's not unheard of. It could happen again, but I mean, realistically, you know, it gets less likely as the days as it wears on. So all the more reason to get out today, and part of the reason of getting out early, as I've been saying in all these blogs, is to get the ideal snow conditions. As it gets warmer, it's going to soften up, might get a bit wet, sugary, and possibly busy as well, although I can't quite see it because no one can actually get up here, and some of those drifts are really deep. Oh my word. Well, anyway, now we're sat down there, of course, is the village of Falkland, in the sunshine now. I mean, as I've said before, it spends much of pretty much the whole winter with the shadow of East Lomond sort of over it, languishing in darkness. One of the darkest little villages in Scotland, surely. But this time of year, getting into spring, sunshine, you know, they're actually getting the sun. And then we look way out over North Fife, all the way into the distant Cairngorms, which are still looking very white. They've had loads of snow as well. Up in Nevis Range, they had 40 centimetres of snow overnight yesterday. So all the ski centres are in rude shape. This never-ending winter continues. Such a difference on this side of the hill. It's all just rime ice. It's a complicated setup because the wind with the snow, it came from the northeast, so it came from that direction, and it's blown it over the hill, which is why there's this enormous drifts over the other side. Blown it all that way, but now the wind's completely changed direction, and now it's westerly, southwesterly. So whereas normally if it had been the same wind, I'd have been able to be on the snow in the sunshine out of the wind and enjoy it, but to get to the really nice big drifts and soft snow, you're going to have to go back into the wind and onto now what is now the windward side, annoyingly. I'm not looking forward to going back up there, frankly, but go up there we must. Onwards! Oh, it's difficult. Lots of spin drift blowing everywhere, but the snow's really nice underfoot. That was amazing up there with because I'm kicking up so much spin drift from my snowshoes, sending it all off. I mean, it's just beautiful the way it blows over the ridge lines, and you know the snow, it blows over the cornices and it curls. You can see the spin drift curl up there. I was going to film a bit of it, but it was so cold, so I didn't. And now it's gone really calm, even though we're still facing the way that the wind's coming from, but just that extra bit of descent. It's been a bit of a battle so far, actually. I mean, I'm faffing a lot with the camera, of course, so it's 8:30. So I've been out 2 hours and I've only really come up East Lomond, pondering where to go. I was thinking I'll definitely go up West Lomond. I had a mind to go up Bishop Hill as well, sort of do all three, but we'll see how the snow is. Oh, it's lovely. It's quite weird having this much snow, it being this cold. You can hear that, the skylarks. They are determined, eh? I mean, they wouldn't have been flying around and displaying and doing their songs the last couple of days, but as soon as it stops, as soon as there's a break in the weather, they're up, they're off. Amazing things, you know, those skylarks, they sort of fly up singing up to about 100 or 150 metres, and you look up and you just can't see them. It's an amazing, beautiful song. It is the sound of spring, isn't it? Especially in the hills. It's lovely. There's that much snow. I think it's the first time it's the first time I've lost the path since December 2010, and I've got an amazing photo of when I came over. I mean, it looks like a lot of snow, but December 2010, it was insane. You know, there was 50, 60 centimetres of snow. There was no blemishes at all, there was no rocks, you couldn't see anything. And I got one of my favourite photos I've taken of having got somewhere down here, and you can just see the snowshoe tracks zigzagging all the way down the hill. Not a blemish on the hill. My favourite photos. Nowhere near that today, but this is probably a close second in terms of snow cover in the last 8 years, maybe 7-8 years. I was about to say I've completely lost the path, but I found it because there's a bit of the path's completely obliterated. Everything's just one flat, smooth, horizontal surface. But I knew here, when you get down this part of the path, there's almost like a little trench with gorse on one side of it. I can feel it pricking into my knee, so I think I found the trench. How do I get out of this? Oh, there's a roll! Oh dear. Sorry, this isn't very dignified. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Careful. Oh, it's just wonderful. I think I'm going to have a stop down here, have a cup of tea, and it's time to put the sun cream on. I mean, it's not even 9 o'clock, but we're in April. We're only a little over 2 months from longest day, so the sun's really strong now. With all this snow, it really will burn. Well, there are tracks here. Looks like slightly covered over by the wind, which makes me think that maybe somebody ran up here last night after the snow stopped. Because I haven't seen anyone today. I don't think there's anyone else up here. Anyway, it's as good a place as any for a stop. Well, things are warming up a bit now, even though the wind's still keen. Have a nice look back at East Lomond. That's my hill. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've been up that now. Hundreds, surely. It's pretty much in my back garden, so it's become, I don't know, I mean, I moved here in 2010 and I go up it when I can, pretty much most days in fact. So 8 years, 365 days in a year, it's a lot. Probably more than 1,000 times by now I would have thought I've been up there. And usually this stretch is a breeze. It's quite an easy, quick path to walk along to get from Craigmead, which is down that way, up to the hill, but it's quite tough going. Whoever this was yesterday, by the looks of it, just with their, looks like someone running, just with their shoes, that must have been exhausting. Good grief. I mean, it's like a deer. The feet go right down to the bottom. I'm feeling the difference. I'm feeling a great big advantage having these on today, but it's still not the easiest going, it has to be said. I don't actually know how the snow's gonna behave once it gets a bit warmer. I mean, it's still really early. That's, like I say, it's the big attraction of heading out early, was you really do get the best of the cold. I'm not quite sure what the snow's going to do as it gets warmer. We'll see. But if the path up to West Lomond is similar to this, so if it's like this, I mean, there's no way I'm going to end up doing Bishop Hill as well if it's like this. This is us descending into the relative calm of Craigmead. All these larch. The sun is really getting to work now. Well, clearly no footprints yet. Today, if ever there was a day for it, today's a day for ski touring, isn't it? You'd make quite quick progress, I imagine. Oh, blue sky. We've had quite a bit of snow this year, but because most of it's come on this east wind, we just haven't had the sunshine. It's like I was saying, when was it? The last blog or the one before, but I can't remember. But it has been really dull, so it's usually when we get our snow usually comes on when a front comes up the country, you know, warm air meeting cold air, and you get very intense snowfall. Then it clears, and then it's bright blue sunshine, blue skies and sunshine. And that just hasn't happened. It's been this easterly murk. So even though we've had the snow come down, even though it's good for moody photos of trees standing solitary in white, grey clag, you want the sunshine, don't you? That's what you really want. So it's great to actually get it now. Right, this might be a bit arduous. It's getting softer. I think as long as I just take it slow, just go with it, go with the flow, go with the pace that the snow is dictating, I'll get there. Just might take me twice as long as it might otherwise do. You can see it right at the top of East Lomond over there. Actually, you can see it really well when there's snow down. You see there's like a loop. It's almost like a ring at the top. That's the outline of an old hill fort. You know, proper earthworks sculpted around the hill. It really sticks out from this angle, and especially under snow. Nice. There's a big burial cairn at the top of West Lomond where we're going as well. Although it's hard to really tell that that's what it is these days. It would have been much, much bigger than it is now, but it's kind of been raided and turned into sort of circular shelters against the wind. We'll have to see when we get up there, assuming it's not buried. But I was up here 2 days ago when it first started snowing. I came up in the blizzard, because that's that's what I do. There were no views, of course. It was quite a brutal walk in. Like I say, moody in that light, and in that quality of light, with the grey being the overriding colour. Actually quite atmospheric, but no views. But certainly at the top, right at the top, the wind's been easterly winds, northeasterly winds for the longest while, so all the snow on this side has been blasted off to the other side. So that slope was pretty much just rime ice. So I think once you get to the base, getting up the hill will be actually quite easy. Getting to it is another matter. The problem once it starts to get warmer as well is snow gets more sticky, gloopy, and I'm starting to feel, it's not so bad up here, but certainly down at Craigmead I could feel snowshoes getting heavy. And that's fine, you just sort of shake it off. But it's difficult to stop the snow doing that. It's like on crampons, you know, you have anti-balling plates underneath to stop the snow from accumulating. We've got those with these. What about that? Looks majestic today. Looks majestic most times, actually, to be fair. West Lomond, the highest point in Fife, 522 metres. I think I'm going to go at the front. The top's going to be savage, I dare say, just like it was on East Lomond, and then come around the side and down again. The other side should have more snow, and it has nice views out over Loch Leven and Kinrossha. Wonderful. Oh, isn't that lovely? I must say, some of the drifting up here is really, really, really nice. Some wonderful architecture, snowy shapes coming out. I find that you get sort of different shapes in different locations depending on where the wind's been coming from. Sort of the landscape, I mean, when the snow's down, somewhere you know well, and it looks like it looks snowy again. But I don't recall ever seeing anything like that. I mean, I don't recall us having these northeast winds coming like that, so I've never really seen drifts over there. It's usually an east wind, or it's sort of the southwesterly, so it's all coming this way. So it's quite odd to see these lovely shapes set against the sky like that. Really nice. Well, we're about to lose the sun. Hopefully only temporarily. That'd be a shame after all day in the sunshine. We should lose the wind in a bit too, because it's coming from behind the hill, so it should get a bit nicer rather than having the wind in my face. But it's not that cold now. It's warming up quite quickly. I don't think it's ever taken me this long to get up West Lomond. That's fine. In fact, it's just a delight being out, seeing it like this under these conditions. Well, I chose the worst possible moment to step on one of my poles. It's now snapped in half. I'm assuming it was just a cramp, one of the crampons underneath the snowshoes. Took it the wrong way. It's really annoying because poles are really useful, especially deep snow like this. And with snowshoes, they're sort of, it's almost like a Nordic skiing technique where you're pushing behind you to propel you forwards. So I'm gutted. It's kind of made up my mind actually. I was thinking about which way to go back over that way where I started. And there's any number of ways you can go off this hill. But given that the snow is starting to get soft, sticky, I was sort of thinking I was going to go back the same way I came, and thinking it might be pleasurable just to follow my own prints out and enjoy it more. I'd enjoy it anywhere I went, but to have an easy go of it would be much more enjoyable. And now I've lost a pole, that's made up my mind really, because it would be very, very difficult to make progress even with just one. You do need them. Anyway. The main path, the actual path I suppose, comes where I've come here, and it comes along around the back of West Lomond and then comes up from behind. Just seems a bit fannying about really. I'll prefer just to make straight up the front. Too hot. It's going to be one extreme to the other when I get up there. Look at all this though. There's something about it's just rhyme. I mean, it really is. Just look at it. It's a surreal surreal landscape of these rime feathers that are formed into the wind. That's just us pulling onto the ridge. I can see the trig point over there, just as the wind starts to pick up again. There we are, the summit of West Lomond, the highest point in Fife. Not the best surface to be standing around on my snowshoes because it's all scoured completely of snow. Here we go, I found a patch here. And look at this rime ice here. In fact, all the way around here. Yeah, it's been cold, it's been damp. Then there's that building out the way into the wind. Nice. It's a bit blowy. But you can see this. Essentially, this is the big cairn, big burial cairn, and you see how they've made like these little shelters. So some of it's been dismantled. It's not nearly as big as it would have been at one point. First of all, you can see that the snow is here. The snow that should be on that side of the hill, it's all been blown over. Well, you wouldn't know it now because the wind's coming from this direction. It would all blow back again. It would keep moving around, but it's got milder, so now it's all just stuck. But anyway, yeah, all of this. There's a lot of snow on this aspect. Looking out the way, of course, that's Bishop Hill, which is part of the Lomond Hills geologically, but it's not in Fife. A lot of people make that mistake. It's in Kinross, and that, of course, Loch Leven over there. That's looking out across Kinrossshire into Clackmannanshire, all the way out to the Oak Hills, and over that way is to Glenfarg, where the M90 goes. And you can see the distant white on the horizon is Perthshire, essentially, all the way over there. Everyone can always see it in the distance is Schiehallion, the hill that you can see from everywhere. If it was better conditions, I don't think it gets better than this really, but the snow's really deteriorating quite quickly. I'd normally go down here. There's a ridge line here, and there's like a line of crags, really weird boulders and crags underneath it called the Devil's Burdens. There's a hill race that comes up here. I think it's called, is it called that? But it definitely comes up there anyway. But you can't really, it's hidden from this view, but it's a really, really interesting place along there. Really interesting rocks. It reminds me of sort of places further south down in the Peak District and that sort of thing. But really nice place to explore if you actually go off the beaten track a bit. This is Glen Vale down here. This is the cleft that separates. Well, it's the only cleft apart from the road that goes through Craigmead and goes down to Falkland. This is the only cleft that takes you through the Lomond Hills, Glen Vale, and it goes all the way along here. So normally I'd go down into Glen Vale and come out that way and walk back to the reservoirs and back to the Ballow, but with the snow like it is, I'm just going to go back the way I came, and because I've only got one pole, I think that's sensible. So this is Harperlees Reservoir, Ballow Reservoir beyond, and that's East Lomond, where we were earlier on. It seems an age ago now, about 5 hours ago I think it was. Oh, lost the sun. Right, let's head down. I love this stuff. It's nice to have the sun out again. Oh, it's just such a shame it's all going to go. Tomorrow, a lot of it will be gone, and then come the weekend, probably most of it will be gone because it's going to be double digits. It's such a shame it can't hang around. if this is the last hurrah of winter, then it's certainly gone out with a bang for me. I dare say there'll be more fun in the higher mountains to the north, but certainly at a local level you'd have to think that reasonably this is probably the last big event. I mean, it's not the best timing for certainly farmers in the Lomond Hills. People we know up in the Lomond Hills, they've lost lambs yesterday. So, you know, I realise I do, as much as I love winter, and I do always wish for snow, I mean all the time, I don't wish for the impacts on farmers and their animals for sure. But I do think, certainly this spell, you see people on social media and that, everyone does seem to have had enough now, certainly at lower levels where you just get slush. I think even die-hard coldies seem to have had enough now, but I seem to be, there are a few people around. I've piped up on social media asking, am I the last one left? Am I the last one left who just wants more snow, please? There's a few more piped up, there's a few more people out there, a few more loons that will just happily have this again and again and again and again. It's wonderful. But yeah, it does have its impacts this time of year with lambing and everything. I'm gonna have to take a layer off again now. I'm out the wind, in the sun, it's too hot. And that's back to where we started the ascent. And that's our loop, our full loop of West Lomond, up the front, around the back. Lovely. And now just the joy of following my own prints back out, which makes it a lot easier than it would otherwise have been. Very nice. Well, I think that's me done really. Homeward stretch. Simple route finding all the way back. It's just glorious. I'm much happier being in the snow here than I am anywhere up north, really. I mean, I'm not fussy in winter. I mean, I love the mountains, and that's what I like to sort of, that's what I feel a pull towards all the time. But in winter, it's snow I want, and I'll just go where the snow is. So if the snow's here at home in this depth and quantity, then that's where I'll be. I can't imagine anywhere else I'd rather be when conditions are like this than actually snowshoeing in my own backyard. The Lomond Hills are not big, they're often overlooked. People speed up the M90 on their way to loftier hills farther north, but you can have surprisingly wild and Arctic-like experiences right here in Fife. And I haven't seen anyone. I have not seen anyone all day. I saw, actually when I was up on the top of the hill, up there, I did see one person and a sort of a couple, a distance apart, starting up the path in Craigmead, not making much progress. I wouldn't be surprised if they turned back, actually, because it's even more gloopy now than it was when I was coming up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they turned back. So if you've got your snowshoes, if you've got your skis, you want to do a bit of ski touring, places like this, the Lomonds, the Pentlands, the Campsies, the Oak Hills, so lesser ranges really do give you those wonderful, snowy, Scottish experiences. And like I say, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.